Today we're going to be doing an orientation with a Hideout 175BH, which means bunkhouse. We're going to start right out here on the LP system. On this particular model, it's simple. Just turn your LP on or off. That's all you got to do with it. Anytime you turn your LP on, it needs to be all the way on or all the way off. It has to seat that O-ring or it will bleed off on you. Once we get a battery, it's a new one, so we don't have a battery in here right now. It goes right here. This is your battery disconnect for everything. We'll disconnect your unit. This is your awning. To adjust these arms for your rainfall, all you're going to do is push this pin right here, and this awning is going to adjust up and down. It's going to give it a slope so the rain runs off of it. You don't want them to keep out in the rain without the slope because it's going to pool and end up tearing and destroying your awning. The other thing is on these awnings, if it gets windy, get them in. Don't leave them out. It will literally destroy them. Some people like to try to go to the top, tie them down, stake them off, and leave them out in the wind. Those are the people that pick their awning arms up off the side of their camper. They're not meant for high winds. This is the back of your furnace. On your furnace and also your hot water heater, you want to make sure you get mud dauber screens on these. If not, the wasps, for whatever reason, are attracted to LP. They'll get in there and build those wasp nests in there, those mud daubers, and they will totally shut everything down on you, and it's expensive to fix it all. You'll get the screens, put the screens on here. You only do it one time. They're spring, comes with a tool, attach it, and that's it. You don't take them on and off. You're done, ready to go. This particular camper, once you get it set side by side, I suggest take a 4-foot level, figure out where your axles are going to be. You know, set it down there. Now you know it's got to come up 5 inches. Okay, now you've got it level side to side. Once you get it level side to side, you're just going to drop your stabilizing jacks. Your tongue jack up front will automatically, you can adjust it from front to rear. When you're using these stabilizing jacks, don't try to level with them. They will bend and break. Once you get it set where you want it, all you're going to do is drop them, snug them, and it just takes the wobble out of your camper. This is your hot water system. This one in particular is an in-demand system. So on these in-demand systems, you have a switch right here. As we get inside, we'll show you how that operates inside. But if this switch is not on out here, the inside will not fire. You won't get any power to it at all. The switch has to be on. And just turn it on, make sure you got water running. They won't work unless water is running and flowing. Once it kicks off and goes, that's all there is to it. This is your city water hookup. So you hook up to a camper that offers water. All you're going to do is hook up to it. Make sure you run a water regulator. These are all PEX fittings. If you hit a high pressure hydrant, if you don't run that regulator, it's going to leak on you. The other thing is, I suggest you run a filter on them because most all campgrounds are well water, and everything's going to be rusted and orange if you don't. It also doesn't help in here when you hook your hose in here. This just switches, hooks it in right here. When you do that, put a 90 here. That helps and takes and won't let your hose kink and takes pressure off of this. This is where you're going to fill for your fresh water. If you're primitive camping and have to bring water with you, just stick your hose in here, fill your tank, turn your pump on, that switch is inside, and you're ready to go. Obviously, you have to sanitize these before you use them because they will have mold, mildew, dust, or whatever if you don't take care of your tanks and keep them clean. This is your dump for this one. Black handle is your black tank. The gray handle is your gray tank, which always drain your black first, your gray second. That rinses out your sewer hose. The other thing on this is don't open them at the same time. You got a 3-inch pipe compared to 1.5 inches. It can backflow into your gray, so just one at a time. It doesn't hurt to rinse these out, keep these rinsed out. You stick a hose right in your toilet. Some of them have black tank flushes. This one does not, but you can stick your hose right in your toilet and rinse it. And that helps and keeps your probes going and working correctly to see where your tanks are at. This is the dump for your fresh water. You just turn the little knob right here and it dumps. Back up underneath there, you'll see a red and a blue line dropping out of the bottom of the camper. Those are your low point drains. This one has a 30 amp service. This is 30 amp 110. These 30 amps are not 220. If you hook up to 220 on these, you will smoke your campers. They are 30 amp 110. This is that front tongue jack that we spoke about while leveling. You're just going to crank this up and down once you get level side to side. The rest of it's a piece of cake. Just adjust that up and down. You can adapt this and put a motorized on if you would like to. It saves you a little muscle power. Now we're going to go inside. Okay, so the switch on the outside of your water heater, if it's not on, this one won't operate. Once you turn it on, you're going to hit this and it's going to come on. Let me go flip that switch. We left it off. Okay, as you can see, I've got the switch on. It wouldn't operate. Now that the switch is on, now I've got a red light. I'm ready to go. All I'm going to do is push this and it's going to bring up my temperature. It's ready to go. I've got my green light and I just push these up and down to wherever I want to set my temperature at. As soon as I get water to the unit, turn it on, it's automatically going to go. To shut it off, you're just going to come back here, turn it off, and remember to turn your outside switch off also. This is my water pump right here. You'll only use it if you're running potable water. You've got plenty of pressure with city, that's why you have to run that regulator. You'll only use this with potable water and also to winterize with. This is just your interior lights. And this one here is those awning lights, those LEDs on the outside. This one in particular does not have a slide, so we won't worry about it. All you're going to do to see where you're at, these are those probes we spoke about, keeping your black tank clean, what's important on them. So right now I push this, it says empty low. As it fills up, these are going to turn blue and let you know where you're on your tank. But if you don't take care of your tanks and use the chemical like you're supposed to, those probes are going to go south on you and you'll have no idea where you're at in them. When it's full, it's going to look like that. This particular one right now is my battery because I'm plugged in. And then there's my fresh and there's my gray. And your fresh is your potable water. Now on my furnace, all I've got to do, make sure your LP's on, and all I'm going to do is push this switch right here and turn it and set it where I want it. The biggest thing on these are, you turn it down, you think it's off right now, this unit is not off. You have to click it, now it's off. Make sure you hear the click. This one in particular, this is a self-ignite stove, so you're just going to turn it to high light. Take you a Bic lighter, the long one, so you don't burn yourself, and light it, and you're good to go. There's your light for your hood fan, and there's your fan for it, your exhaust fan. Your lights are underneath or push button, right in the middle of the light. Get in the habit when you come into your unit, look at these right here. This runs off AC, AC only. All your lights you see on is all DC. So when you walk in, all your lights may be on, but if you don't see this right here, go start looking. You've dropped power somewhere. That's the fastest way to know if you've got power to your unit or not. Oh, for your microwave. Your refrigerator, it's pretty simple. You just come down here, and here's your adjust to where you want to be at for your temperature. Or you can flip it, and that's how you turn your unit off on this. The toilets operate off foot pedals. If you push down all the way, it opens it up. There's your flush. If I step on it just a little bit, if we're hooked up to water right now, it would be filling the tank. That's where you're going to get your water to put it on top. Always leave some water on top. There's a black gasket down there. That gasket dries out, it will stop holding water for you. If it starts leaking off, get a rubber glove, a jar of Vaseline, and go down and grease that black gasket out. 9 times out of 10, they come right back and start working again. Same thing here, inverted outlet. It will also run off your solar panel, and it is GFI protected. We'll find the GFI through here as we go through it. Your fan just runs up and down manually. Button here, turns your fan on. This unit, same thing. Push button right in the middle of the pancake light. The shower, obviously you have small tanks, so you're going to have to get used to either go to the shower house or get used to taking a military shower. So you get your water set. This is a shut off. Get wet, shut it off. Otherwise you're filling up your tanks and you're rusting. If you're running off potable water, you're using all your water up. Get wet, shut it off, soap up, turn it on, rinse off as fast as you can, and shut it off, because you got to conserve water and avoid filling your tanks up. This is your inverter, or I'm sorry, your converter. This is all your AC power. This is all your DC power on the fuses. If something should happen to malfunction and you blow one of these fuses, look in there. You're going to see a little light come up beside it, and it's going to let you know exactly what fuse it is. You don't have to start pulling them all out and checking them all. This particular one, your GFI is located over here on the wall. It's only good for 15 amps, so if you get your curling iron going, your cook pots and all that, something's got to give. You're going to blow this, so come right here first. If something happens, you lose power, and check in here and see if you blew this, and just push the button and reset it, and it'll bring you right back. Your air conditioner, this particular unit, has a wall-mounted air conditioner, and it's very self-explanatory. On, off, set your temperature, set it where you want it, and that's all there is to that. The biggest thing on these are they have a reset. If it does get overloaded where you plug it into the wall, there is a reset on that. So if something malfunctions, go to that reset first if it won't kick on, and look for that reset. Your TV, if you elect to put a TV in here, there's a little green light right here. I don't see if you can tell it off my finger or not. That's the amplifier for your TV. If that's not on, you will not get any power to it. You will not get any reception to it. In the same breath, that draws off your battery. So when you shut down and it's parked for a while, this little button right here, just push it. Now I just shut the amplifier off so it doesn't draw my battery down, because it's constantly looking for signal. As long as you're plugged in at the campground or plugged in at home, wherever you've got it, you don't have to worry about it, because it's constantly charging your battery.